September 21st. Slideshow is going to have a little different layout. Added a couple screens here to maybe communicate a little better what's going on. Our essential question, what is life? New seats and some of that executive class function stuff. The idea that now that we've got these slideshows published, you can come into class, preview the slideshow, so I don't have to spend a lot of time in front of the room getting us going. Today, sewer lice. We investigate characteristics of life and examine something called sewer lice for the characteristics of life. It started to include apps of interest. There's, those phones of yours, those tablets can be extremely useful for more than texting and calling your friends. So the idea here is to periodically share out some apps of interest that make you a better student. For example, one of the most, the common groups of apps we need to have in class: Drive, Docs, Slides, Forms, and Sheets, all Google apps, along with Classroom and Gmail. Since we use them in class, you might as well extend them beyond the classroom walls and make them part of your mobile devices. The plan, that you need to know the characteristics common to all life, understand how difficult it is to define life, and be able to use Google effectively to conduct research. And the do is something we're going to do from now on. We're in the lesson preview right now. The second step of that was to search for sewer lice, see what we find. We discussed the sewer lice activity. We move on to assignment number 4 in Classroom. What is life spreadsheet? The instructions are there on Classroom, the video instructions. So if you need to, follow along with those. And then make sure that we got everything turned in to date. As we leave class, we discuss our results and hold on to those spreadsheets and not turn them in, because we're going to use them again next week. September 22nd. Essential question still, what is life? After previewing the slideshow for the day, open up your assignment number 4. Before we get started, some apps of interest. If you haven't checked out Photomath, I know it's on iOS. I believe it's on Android as well. If you don't have a mobile device, something else you really want to be interested in is Wolfram Alpha, a website that will help you. Both of these are great tutors for math and anything else you actually want to use them for. We spend some time become Google Ninjas. We talk about the differences of the search words, the search terms you see on your screen there, and how order and using things like quotations and Boolean search terms like and, or, not can improve your search skills. The plan, making sure you know the characteristics common to all life, how difficult it is to understand life, and or to understand how to define life, and be able to use Google effectively to conduct research. Back to our opening up assignment number 4, we're going to spend the period there having you go out and search lists of characteristics on different websites, bring them together on that spreadsheet, and then when we're done, we'll try to sum up a list that we can actually use in class from now on. And in the final 5 minutes, there's a little What is Life video. After that, if we get any time left, we'll show some About Me Google Slides for kids we haven't seen yet, and a reminder that if you haven't completed assignment number 2 and assignment number 3 and turned them in or submitted them as done, you need to do so. September 23rd. Today we're still on the essential question, what is life? There's a link for you to open up, look at a presentation, mention turning in Chromebook paperwork, and Mr. Krause advertising the DC New York trip over spring break. Apps of interest today. The Remind app allows me to send messages to you or your family members, and you can send them back anonymously. In other words, we don't have to exchange our phone numbers, and also to be able to get onto Skyward and Family Access through the mobile app. Our Google Ninja skill of the day is the asterisk, the symbol on the 8 key, the wildcard character, which will attempt to fill in any missing information in the series when you search. Same plan for the day as yesterday in terms of know, understands, and do's, which gets us to reviewing some growth mindset quotes. That was the presentation link at the beginning. Some some quotations from famous people about how if we set our mind to it, we can accomplish our goals. And then we go into the seed activity, which we watch revisit Sesame Street and get back to, if you've ever seen the show, which of these things is not like the others. You've got an activity where on your plate you've got some rocks and seeds. We sort them out. We get to talk about, what is the difference between a rock and a seed. And from there you move on to looking at other things on a website. The Living Wants to Living Non-Living quiz links you out to Moodle, and of course all this you can get on Classroom. Links you out to an activity through Moodle where you examine 20 items, determine whether they were living, wants living, non-living, and then you're going to submit those answers into a form. And before we go, making sure we review the essential question, we turn in any assignments 1 through 5. And I also, before you go, introduce you to the idea of a misconception. And we talk about what sort of misconceptions might come along with our essential question that we want to extinguish. September 24th, what is life question? To investigate further, we're going back to our spreadsheet, see what sort of research we got yesterday. I have you log into Moodle because as we follow the same plan, we're not there yet, we want to identify misconceptions based on the list that we found. And then when we take our revised class list, we are going to use the Moodle glossary tool for tables to enter the terms into a glossary. That glossary, then I will then put it onto Quizlet for our for the ability of you to study the terms, and then give you some time in class to study. I also play for you the biology song as we join Quizlet. The biology song is a pretty catchy tune that you probably won't soon forget. And then before we go, we turn in all work to date to make sure we're all caught up. All right, September 25th. Again, we're going to log into Moodle in Classroom, much like we did yesterday, to access our resources. We are in the middle of, trying to wrap up our What is Life unit. Apps of interest, Quizlet and A+ flashcards. Really, any flashcard app that connects to Quizlet is worth your time, because then you can study on your mobile device without having to go to the website. Our Know, Understand, and Do hasn't changed. Reviewing the biology song, going through our apps of interest, and then diving into a Moodle activity, what is a living organism? Not only am I presenting it to you for the content that's inside, also gives me an idea on your science reading comprehension. It's a little activity we've broken down a big text into smaller chunks with some comprehension questions embedded in there to see how well you do. We'll go back to our revised list once that's over of characteristics of life and give you more time to study. And again, before we leave, a reminder to turn in any missing work from the week.